Oh, hello and welcome to another episode of Review. My name is Rabia Garib and I'm here on another episode of Reviewed. We are live on the New Spaces YouTube, Toffee TV PK, YouTube, and also our Facebook channels, which are facebook.com/toffeetv and facebook.com/the new spaces. The app that I'm going to review today is actually called Stop, and this is what the icon looks like. It's available for iOS on iPhone and iPads and also there's an Android version for this. Now, for those of you who don't know about what stop motion is, it's a style or a technique of animation where you have frame by frame, and you actually have to go ahead and you shoot and record those photographs and then stitch them together for a short animation. And it usually, very good stop motion animation, as Talia Zafar will tell you, that it's very tough to find very good quality stop motion animation, and she's a real stickler for that. I found this app and I wanted to do a quick review of it. So Stop Motion Studio is the app, and you're not supposed to see this because I had it open, but I'm going to close everything and then restart it. There we go. So strangely enough, it doesn't say anything about the developers, but they have a standard a demo of called a Big Fish stop motion. I'm going to show you that so you understand what style of animation this is. I did a couple of quick tries. This is a free version, and so it is extremely limited in what you can and cannot do from the free version. If you buy it, then there's a lot of stuff that you can do, which you may be able to do with your DSLRs and link it up accordingly. So let's play the Big Fish stop motion and see what it looks like. So this is their Big Fish demo, and this was created entirely using this app. So this is the kind of stuff that you can do, and as long as you have good graphics or whatever the subject of your stop motion production is, as long as that's good, that's how good the animation will be. So let's start up with a new new project. So we go back. I mean, it's very simple. You just come up with whichever your new movie is, and you start off from there. So now, of course, with every photograph or video app, you have the ability for it to access your video or camera, video library or your camera roll, or you can also take images from here. So we're going to take some images, and we've got a subject matter that we're going to go ahead and animate. So we're going to try like this. So you get the basic feel. And we're just going to take a photograph. So I've got something. There we go. I'm going to put this as my first frame. Alright. And now, again, in stop motion, what you have to do is go ahead and take a photograph frame by frame. So we're going to start off like that. And then work our way in. Alright. So these are your tools right here. You have your camera where you're going to take your shots. So I'm going to take one. And of course it would be much easier if I had a tripod, but otherwise it's alright. I'll take the shot. What do I do? Oh, there we go. Take the shot from here. So line it up. So I've taken the first frame. Now what happens in stop motion is I have the ability to take my next frame. So I'm done from here. I want to take my next frame, but you see, you can see it. I don't know how clearly you can see it in the on the screens, but actually you can see a blur of where my previous shot was and where my next shot is going to be. And this is something known as onion skinning. and you can control how opaque, how transparent, or how much opacity you need to see, how much detail you need to see, so you can plan your next frame. So I'm going to plan my next frame like this. There we go. And again, it depends how many frames per second or how fast you want this to move. And I'm going to shoot my next frame and my third frame and my fifth. So you see, I can make it as simple because it's also how sharp or not you want it. You can create videos up to 4K quality, phenomenal, but for that you'll have to, a really good camera and you work. So let's say, okay, I'm done with these photographs. So I want to see what there we go. That's what I shot, right? अभी एक के बाद एक आ रहा है. Now I can work on things like how fast speed I want this. So I go back. And now these are my frames, right? 1, 2, well, I've got 9 shots. So I'm going to click and I'm going to start. So let me keep it at, let's say, 4 frames per second. I can also have different effects, how the first photograph will come in and how the last photograph will get out. So I have some very basic effects. Do I want to fade in from black? Do I want to fade in and out? And of course, if you've used any basic video editing or audio editing software, what these symbols also mean. So let's start off with fade in and fade out. I want that. And let me also go back into the settings. And let me put in this kind of thing, kind of a binocular shape. And of course, if you buy this version, you'll be, this version of Stop Motion Studio app, which I haven't, you'll be able to come up with some really cool, very quick fixes to your photographs. So I'm going to do binocular. All right. Let's see what it looks like now. So I'm going to go back to my first frame. Photographs are... And again, this is something that I should have planned earlier. But let me go in and quickly just edit these. So edit. And let's increase. Let's add a little bit more color. And some more light. Okay, make it saturated. There we go. By the way, which app do you use for stop motion or for your video editing on your phone? And do you even edit your videos on the phone, or are you still someone who likes... There we go. Let's go to the next one. I'm going to edit this so you also understand what is going on. And again, not a filter, but I want some color, I want some light. Stop motion animation is also really, really great to teach young kids about how stop motion actually works, or how the basics and fundamentals of animation work. So I'm going to click on that, get into edit, color, light, make it a little rich, and so see, a lot richer, than knows how to do these things a lot better than I do. Let's go to this one, which is also very dull. And again, just press and you edit. No filter, color. You can also add audio and pretty much do everything that you would do in a standard version of such an app. But again, in this particular version, color, last one is this, and same thing. I don't know why I keep pressing the filter. There we go. Color and done. So we are there. Let's see what our. Honestly speaking, the binoculars are a little irritating. I also realized, hang on, let me pause this, that my screen is not fully bright, which might make it a little bit more dull than otherwise intended. There we go. So much nicer. Again, most of these, actually all of these, are for purchased versions, but you can come up with something in terms of titles, credits, speech bubbles even inside if you want, so which means you can play with characters, you can have a very cartoonic effect and have these kinds of effects also. Alright, there we go, so cancel this. If you do want to have record something alongside, this is great for showing blueprints or design options to clients, and if you want to just run a quick narrative, you can just record it onto here and then time it accordingly. So everything becomes a lot easier. Also in the audio, I'll just show you the list. Of course, this is the free version again, but if you go ahead, these are the sound effects that you get. You also have theme music you can play from your phone memory also. And of course, if you have any recordings in your memo folder, you can also access your iTunes library. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but that's where it is. And then if you also have something which is shared, which you have saved in your folder, you can also access those things. I just realized I do have a folder here. I do have a song, but even to bring it down, one, I need to be connected to the internet, and you will also have to have the paid version for that. Alright, hang on just 1 second. Okay. So there we go. So I've made my little clip, which is less than a second. And if I want, I can export this to whatever feature and whatever I want it to be. So let me try. And you can figure out whether you want to play last frame only, or if you want to play this as a loop. So we're done, and we go ahead and we export as a movie, as an animated GIF. If you want just those 8 or 9 different separate images, you can also export it as a flipbook, which is great, or export it as a project, and you can run this project in things like in software like iMovie, which will also allow you to not import the project as iMovie, but import the project into another application on another phone. There we go, that's what we've made. So again, the name of this app is Stop Motion Studio. It's a great app for making really quick stop motion animation. You don't need a lot of people, and it's very well done. The quality is great, but the quality, of course, is as good as the images that you have. And again, this is available for iOS as well as Android versions. Let us know what app or what apps you use, and then we'd love to also try and see if we can review them. If you have a specific app that you want reviewed, please leave that in the comments. Be sure and follow the New Spaces on our website, on YouTube, on Instagram and Facebook, and also log on to toffeetv.com, as well as like our Facebook page, Instagram feed, as well as our YouTube account. Yeah, so we wish you all a lot of fun making stop motion animation and animated GIFs using this software, using this app. And yeah, in case we don't see you on Monday, then Pakistan Zindabad for 14th August. This is Rabia, Garib, and the team of Toffee TV and the New Spaces logging off.